Once again, welcome to LuraTech's webinar. Now we're really going places, mobile scanning at its best today. So, as I said, today's the product launch of a new line of product even at LuraTech. So even for those who are with us for many, many years as customers and partners, like probably most of the audience is here today, there is something really new to take a look at. There is the release of the products that were pre-announced now in the final shape of how they are, and also way more details to tell, explain, and show throughout the webinar. When we talk mobile scanning, what we're saying is scanning with smartphones and tablets and their built-in camera systems with all the problems that are introduced with that when the scanner is not a controlled and closed box with defined light conditions in it, but really a camera and outside light conditions and reflections and whatnot. It took us a while from the first announcement of the product line between the webinar, and also thank you again for the patience and following us on the postponed webinar today. The app development took quite a while, but what also took quite a while and still takes quite a while, obviously, is the review with Apple. The final product is in review process. At least one of the products is in review process with Apple, and I hope to have you all look at it once it's out, and we expect it anytime, today or tomorrow, the latest. It is in active review at the moment, and it's also the second review of the product, so it should be out any second, probably during this webinar. Nobody knows. Another thing that took us a while is date follows quality. We were not yet completely happy with the version in December, so we postponed a little bit. Today, we have 3 products in this new product line that you can totally rely on and totally work with, and I'm going to show. So what's the new product line about? Quick recap from the product pre-announcement webinar. It's about scanning with smartphones, because scanning with smartphones will be done today anyway. So everybody knows that. There's this document sitting on your table. Somebody says, send it over. And what you're going to do is taking a photo and sending it over. Now, when you're a business and you have sophisticated mailroom solutions and all this kind of stuff that relies on a certain level of image quality for your documents, that's why you invested probably something into your automatic sheet feed scanners, into your high confidence or let's say high quality OCR systems and image classification systems and all. Now, when you receive those documents scanned, quote unquote, with a smartphone, when people just use the built-in camera and everything else, you probably only create manual work because the quality shouldn't be enough, or in most cases isn't enough to be recognized automatically. And also it's just a real ugly document. So when people do this anyway, and it causes us trouble, why not be proactive about it, move forward and say, better prepare and embrace the trend that is there anyway. And you could do that by just really going to the source where the document is created and there manage the quality, take it under your own control. Use document imaging know-how of LuraTech in this case, accumulated over many, many years. Use compression, use PDF, use PDF-A, whatever you need for your process later on. Just do it in the moment of the image acquisition and make sure the document has the quality you need for your recognition processes, for your archiving purposes and whatnot. Now, summary, LuraTech know-how around processing scans is now also available out there on the road. And this is the way how we packaged it. 3 products, 3 major bullet points here. Of course, when we talk mobile and scanning and tablets and whatnot, obviously there has to be an app. And there is an app called the LuraTech PDF Scanner. It's free with no ads on the Apple App Store any minute now until the end of February. So make sure you get your copy once it's out, and take a look at it and use it and prove that everything I do tell you today is valid. Second product in the line is for those who want to use in their mobile apps our well-known compression for scanned documents, or well-known software to create PDF and PDFA, searchable documents and whatnot. Most of you are familiar with our standard PDF SDK, and basically this is the mobile version. The LuraTech Mobile Compression SDK mentioned here is the mobile version with all the mobile aspects built into it, but with the same level of compression, same PDF high quality output as you know it from the more desktop-like product. So if you have a scan application already, you might be ready to use this to build in the additional functionality. If you do not yet have scan opportunity or scan features in your app or a scan app, you might want to take a look at our LuraTech App Framework SDK. That's a little more than digital imaging. That's a little more than mobile compression. It is a complete framework that helps you rapidly build scan apps or helps you rapidly add scan functionality to your existing apps, where we went through all the hops and hurdles and created highly integrated SDK solutions for everything like camera control, image quality, and whatnot. So you can really use a developer person with no knowledge about document imaging at all and have them build in a very short time frame a full scanning application. Okay, go to our website if you want. Products out there. There's a lot of descriptions around there, but probably do it after the webinar. It's also linked in the main menu. When we take a closer look at the three offerings we have, first offering is the app. The app today is available on iOS today, tomorrow, any minute now. It's a universal app, so it works on iPhones and iPads in the same way. It works with iOS 7 or higher. It works on iPhone. Oh, there's Phone 4S. It should be iPhone 4S or higher. Of course, the processes we do, compression, all the image analysis, image quality management, document imaging in itself, editing of images, and so on, is all pretty computationally intense, takes a lot of CPU cycles to process that, and therefore older phones like iPhone 4 and even older are probably a tad too slow to process that. But from iPhone 4S or higher, so lots of the last generations, those phones are absolutely fast enough to have a very good user experience. And I'm going to show you anyway a couple of minutes. So what does the app do? The app is a multi-page scanning app, turns your iPhone into a multi-page scanning device. But not just so, taking an image and storing it or adding it as a page to PDF. But what we do is we do full camera control in there. So the moment when you take an image, the moment through the image acquisition when it takes place, we have all our algorithms working, taking a look at the image, analyzing it and understanding, does it have enough quality? Is it too dark? Is it grainy? Is it having any artifacts on that? Is it too far away? Is the resolution too small and everything else? And then we have overlay images guiding the user to help get the best result. And in that case, also the automatic trigger that is flashing or taking the photo automatic in the moment where everything is perfectly okay and aligned for also sharper images is only firing when all the conditions are there and the image quality can be guaranteed in a way. Of course, you can override it. You can hit the trigger button anytime and take a photo or take a scan, even when the light conditions are bad and there's no way around that. You can do that. But for the best experience, just really put the phone over the document, look at the user guidance on the screen, and once you did that, it will automatically trigger the image acquisition for a specific page. The app outputs JPEG and PDF, and the standard output is PDF A2U for all who know LuraTech. Of course, we do PDF A2U with good compression and ISO standard compliant PDF, high quality PDF. We have a document list inside the app where you see all your acquired documents, where you can manage them, also destroy them or erase them or what, and also go back and editing it. A speciality here is, besides being able to edit the acquired image, and I'm going to show you what you can do here, you can also edit those already stored documents in there. And what's that good for? Now, think about real world cases. You're scanning a, I don't know, 10 pages contract. And then on page 8, you all of a sudden realize, oh, come on, this is not yet signed. I have to take it to someone to get the signature. Now, are you going to throw away everything else that you scanned already, or are you going to store this fragment of a document and later on want to go back into your document list, open up the document again and add the missing pages? That's what you can do with our applications at any time. I think that's a bit special when you take a look at scanning apps out there. Most of them, the stored document is final. And with us, you can even edit those already stored documents. Of course, we use MRC compression in the app. We create those PDF files with it. And of course, we have implemented connections to email, cloud services, and all this kind of stuff so that you're able to share the documents and send them around in the way you need it. So for whom is this app? This app is almost for everybody. Use it to capture your receipts and send them in. Use it to scan your paper mail as you have it. Use it for this use case we all know. Could you do me a favor and upfront return a signed copy by email? Just use it. It's so easy. Or of course, most of you out there are software vendors in yourself, and you're probably looking for having additional offering in your software. You can also OEM or white label the application as it is with some modifications, or take it as the App Framework SDK and build your own look and feel on top of the functionality of the app, obviously. You can add it to ECM system. You can add it to your in-house systems for your business partners, for your employees, or what you want. The goal is highest scan quality possible, controlled environment, controlled image acquisition, comprehensive image and even document editing. Document imaging know-how is completely in there in all the places, but it's sort of hidden. So we don't want to confront the user with questions about DPIs and resolutions and all this kind of complicated stuff that we all understand, but nobody else. So we took choices, we took decisions, we did a lot of work on coming up with the best result as automatic as possible. It has a simple and proactive user experience, proactive in the sense that the user is guided through the process. And come on, I'm using it every day now since months, and it's just really fun to use. You will find so many use cases during making your life easier every other day. So make sure you go to the store before the end of February and download your free and ad-free copy. Next product, a little bit more detail about the mobile compression SDK. Again, as I said, most of you are familiar with our PDF SDKs for Windows and Linux and whatnot, and this is what it does. It's available on iOS right now. We start shipping demo versions next week. It's available not through the App Store, obviously, but through LuraTech. Just contact me, and Android versions, as well as the Android app, follows in Q2. And there's no year, but we're talking 2015. So it's not that long that we have also the Android offerings in here. It has the full power in terms of compression rate, in terms of functionality of the PDF SDK as you know it, as the PDF compressor has in terms of compression and whatnot, as other people in the audience know it. For example, you end up with a 40 kilo document size for a scanned full color page with the app, with the SDK. It uses JPEG 2 and JPEG 2000 internally, again supports PDF A2U and a lot of other PDF standards and versions throughout the SDK interface. And it's quick, and that's why we did it right now. We investigated products like that for years, but now with the actual and current hardware generations in there, the processing times are really just seconds. 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds for a page. And it supports multi-threading wherever possible. So you can also use parallel processing, and we make extensive use of parallel processing in our app, and I'm going to show you. It has an OCR interface. Again, it reads ABI's XML or other XML formats, and we embed them through the formatting process as hidden text in the PDF when you use our SDK in conjunction with an OCR SDK in your app. It creates load, save, copy, move, turns, PDF and PDF pages, and has a little bit an easier interface than the Windows and Linux versions, thus guaranteeing also a very short development time to add mostly MRC compression and PDF-A output to your already existing, say, scan app or whatever it is. By the way, use it, ask questions when you have it, type them into the questions section of your GoToMeeting software. Next product, introduction. This is probably the most special product in this lineup here. It's called, again, the LuraTech App Framework SDK. It's available for iOS. Start shipping demo versions next week. You get them through LuraTech, your standard contacts that you have, or through me directly. And again, here, Android follows in Q2. It's not the next document imaging toolkit for mobile, like there are a couple of already out there in the market. Developers do not even have to know anything about document imaging in order to use both the toolkit and create scan applications with high quality. It has a lot of components that you might or might not want to use in your app. For example, it has document imaging built in with all the functionalities, including image editing. It has the editing of the documents in there. It has a document list that you can customize and use inside your app if you want, or leave it aside. It has the on-the-fly image quality analysis during the image acquisition. It has the complete camera control already there, so you don't have to pull Apple's SDK and open the camera and then end up with an image and then call a method saying, I don't know what, contrast and set it to +10 or something like that. It has complete camera control. It influences with all the other imaging parts and does a lot of that automatically or with very high level SDK functionality. The camera control is really important because through the camera control, we do the user guidance, and you have that available in the App Framework SDK as well. Tell it's too far off, get closer, more light, unsharp. We have a big reflection in there from a light source, change the light source, and all this kind of stuff is in camera control, including also the flashlight, because the flashlight is good and bad. It gives you light when there's no light, but it also gives you a flash if you use the SDK, and then you end up with spots of reflection on the document where you can't read anything. So we made sure that we use the light on all the different devices, specific between iPads and iPhones of different generations, in a way that it doesn't flash, but really switch the light on and help you getting the best document as an output again. It has comprehensive pre and parallel processing already built into the App Framework SDK. So in the moment you acquire the next image, the next page of a document, we also already compress in the background through the session handling the first page so that the user doesn't have to wait any time once the last page is scanned. It includes the mobile compression SDK, so that's a component inside the bigger App Framework SDK. And on top of that, our own app that I'm going to show you now is built upon the LuraTech App Framework SDK. And what's missing there, kind of the glue code to put it all together, is in the package. So the LuraTech PDF Scanner application, the app source code, is included as samples, as copy-paste solution for you in the LuraTech App Framework SDK, beside a very good documentation and support and whatnot, of course. Good. So far about the theory. Now let's put it to life and take a look at it, and not just this screenshots, but I also have the application running live here, and I'm going to switch the window. And what you see here is not a simulator. This is my iPhone. I connected it to my Mac computer here through QuickTime, which is an option to present apps. QuickTime then automatically always sets the time to 9:41 because obviously Apple thinks that looks the best, and takes away the carrier logo and whatnot. And I put it to flight mode so that we are not disturbed here. Now, and this one is just a QuickTime thing that will go away in a second. Yes, here we go. Now this is my live iPhone, and I'm going to start the scanner right now, which is PDF Scanner. The orange bubble there allows us not to display the full name. In the released version that you'll be able to download from the App Store, this is the Gold Master, let's say, the name will be visible completely. So I started. It starts with a splash screen like you have it on iOS 8. This is an iPhone 6 Plus. So what you can see is we also optimized already to all the different screen resolutions on iPads and iPhones. We, of course, optimized it for iOS 8 latest versions. And we're going to do that from now on. So when you rely on one of our SDK components, you at least get rid of having to optimize it all the time, having to adopt the new features, the new functions of the new iOS devices. And this platform is pretty agile. So there's a lot of things coming across and changing. So just think about that when you do your make or buy decision. We take care of all these changes for you. Now, what do we have here? This is LuraTech PDF Scanner for iOS, obviously, version 1.2.1. It's the same version as it is in review for release right now, Gold Master, as I said. And it has this document list down here. And yes, you can see I use it all the time. And you see there is a couple of PDF icons there and a couple of camera icons. I said before that we both output PDF as well as JPEG series, let's say. So a series of JPEG images will be treated in the same way as a multi-page PDF document will be treated. So quick look at that. Here's a PDF document that I did. It's just one page. Okay, not very exciting. No, this one is it probably? Yeah, here's one that I took with at least 3 pages in there. When you take a look at the document, obviously you can zoom it and whatnot in all the pages and make sure you look at everything. And here's the same document again, the second in the line here, as JPEG series, and those JPEGs are also one after the other. You can zoom it and whatnot, and both can be edited here on the screen again. So we don't treat those multi-page documents, either PDF or JPEG, differently. But of course, you see a big difference because the 113817 PDF document there is 3 pages, 92 kilo. That's the MRC compression, and the JPEG theory is 3 pages, 17B. Same document. It's just really save as creation. Same document in JPEG, 2.8 mega. That's the difference that we have here. But now let's create a document. You hit the blue plus button on top there. Again, this is live on my iPhone, and the camera is, it's a little bit choppy sometimes because we have a transmission in there, but the camera is now live. You can see my hand down here, and the camera is live, and it says there's no detection. I don't see any document down here, which is almost true because it's cut. When you take a document into focus, it says, yeah, there's must be something, but it does still see the corner of my desk and something. It says move closer. And why does it say move closer? It could be a sharp image from up here, but if I take a shot of this now, the resolution is just not as good as it could be because we will crop later on and throw all the table away and end up with a kind of inflated document with a lower resolution as we should. And as I said, we take care and give the user guidance so that we get the best image quality. Now I move closer here, and in the moment it's close enough, and all the light conditions is okay and everything. It automatically fires the trigger and captures the image and crops it automatically in this way here, and you end up with a screen like that. Now from here, you could immediately hit next and take the next picture, or go to the documents for some editing, or immediately save it as PDF rapidly with no extra steps. But I'm not going to do that. I hit cancel at this moment because what I want to explain is the menu or the icons down there at the bottom of the screen. Although we take control and really make sure that we get the best document, sometimes you are forced to take a shot of the screen in too dark of an environment, and our software says it's not good enough, but you say it's the best we can do. So you push the button for taking a photo by hand, not automatically, but by hand, and then you end up with a photo that you probably want to edit. And you can edit it for light, light, and it does it for you in line here so that you can see where you end up. Reset that because we got the best anyway. Same for contrast. Not very exciting. You can turn it around again. I have to do it 4 times because we do it right in the first place normally. And you have this glue, this color. How is that called? I don't even know in English. In the middle down there. When you open this up, you see you have surprisingly 4 choices. Normally you have 3, which is color, grayscale, black and white. But we have, we can do binarization at LuraTech. So this is the black and white version of it. Pretty clean. We use a bunch of software for that. You can go grayscale. You can go color, which is this here. Or you could go color with better white balancing, which is the default. We try to, you have no control light environment. You see it's lighter in the upper right scale than it is down in the lower left scale. And we can't do anything about that because we're not sitting in a box with controlled light environments. But what we do is we try and find out what is the right white on this page and try to balance it out with a pretty sophisticated algorithm to get the best white page of paper in this scan here. So, and then the last button in there is obviously for cropping. Sometimes when you could also take a photo with it from the environment or something and you want to manually crop it, or you want to go in there and crop it differently. The algorithm took the choice that in order to capture the whole document on the upper left corner, to leave a little bit of the background in here because the document was not perfectly flat on the table but had a curve in there, and we have a little bit background in there for having all the white page in here, but you could decide to say there's nothing in there anyway, so I don't want to have that, so I'm going to crop it. Now when you crop it manually, you see how it did the cropping automatically. You see the full image again in there. When you crop it manually, you can use either the corner buttons as you know it, but what you see also is that there is a magnifying glass up there because you can see it here, the white button, but I can't because my big fat thumb is on here and I don't really see where I need to move it unless I release the thumb, and then it's not moving any longer. So we have this magnifying glass here that allows us to really pixel by pixel go there where we want to go, and you can see it up there here in this part here. The magnifying glass disappears the moment I release the button. And the magnifying glass also shows up when I use the button here in the middle that is parallel moving those sides here. And yeah, you know the game. Good enough. I'm going to hit apply, and now it's applied, and you see the background is gone on top here. Another button that's in here is in the upper middle here called Original. And Original here on my iPhone again in the app is a button where you can decide what's the real format of the document. So this might in the end have been a letter-sized page. So we hit letter in here and you see that it rescales the document to perfectly be a letter-sized document, and accordingly to the size, it adjusts the DPI in that way so that you get a letter-sized page with as much as DPI as you can by being guided to get closer to the document. So in the end, again, end up with a perfect page. Next, I'm going to now do it a little bit quicker so that you see it doesn't take so long all the time. I hit take the next picture. What I'm going to do is I use the document like that, hold still. Here we go. Next, save as PDF, and it automatically suggests a document name by date and time, which I use. Done. And you saw it just compressed page 2. It took sub-second to finish the document because we used this parallel processing in the first page, and also most of the second page was already processed in the moment because it's faster than I talk, so that you get the user experience of being real lightning fast working with your document. Now, you can tap and hold the first entry in here and rename it, the document. You could also move the first entry in here to the left, and then you see rename and delete coming up, like from Apple Mail and so on, which we have no need to do. Or you can just tap the first entry here, and then again you see the document. And as you can see, for the first page I switched it to letter size. For the second page, I left it in as the camera originally captured it. So it makes sense to, when you not only electronically use it, but want to print it or something like that, to probably adjust it to the right page size, which you can, by the way, also preset, obviously. You can zoom in here again and see how it is. And this is an MRC compressed document already. And zoom in also between the pages, pretty flexible by using your 2-finger gesture. And you can throw it away here, which you don't want to do, but you can also share it here. I'm in flight mode now, so there's not much to do for me except of creating an email template where the PDF document is attached. Cancel. I don't need that draft. And you could also share it from, no, come on, it's the same. Cancel, sorry for that. You could also share it. That's my standard workflow from here, say to Dropbox. Again, I'm in flight mode, no connection, so I can't really push it in there. But you get it, you know it. Specialty, as I said before, is you can now even edit those fixed and finished PDF documents. And I don't know, pick one. I take the, 1, 2, 3 for the 11, 38, 17, 3 pages document from this morning, and I do want to add another page. So I'm hit edit, and it creates from the MRC compressed PDF back now an editable version of that that we can now take a look at. First of all, you can use your 2 fingers and increase the thumbnail size or decrease the thumbnail size for better overview here. Again, the 2 fingers gesture. 1 finger gesture is you can tap and hold, and I do that with page 2 now, and you can move it around and edit it. So when you by accident scan it in the wrong order, or you say this page goes away, obviously, and you can throw it away in the basket and it's gone. And you can also single tap a specific page like this here, and then use the editing for this specific page again here. For example, we could switch this to, probably it was A4, I don't know, again, and we could, I don't know, manually crop it a little bit again, apply, and then save it back. And we can from here then also, I wanted to add a page. You can take a page from your photo library, you saw that there, or you can again try to hold still and scan a page to it. Now it should, when I go to document, it should be a 4 pages document, and it is. And I'm going to save it again. Again, you can save it as PDF, MRC compressed, or as image series, JPEGs. I'm going to save the PDF, give it another name. The document is, I used the name already, so I take another name, PDF. And it only compresses the 4th page very quick, finishes it up. Everything else was already done. So we end up with a 4-page document, 117 kilobyte in size. Again, you could use edit. Go in there and just hit save. Save as, say, image series now, so that we have the JPEGs, JPEG in the name. Done. It's a save as functionality, even quicker. But of course, you see again the difference. Same document, MRC compressed, 170 kilo, JPEG series, 3.6 megabyte. But again, the look and feel inside the app, taking a look at the document, editing it, sharing it, and whatnot, is absolutely the same, no matter when it's PDF or JPEG. Okay, so I'm having sometimes a little bit of a hard time of showing you some more of the more sophisticated image control and management features, because I do not have a bad light condition here, but I'm at least trying to do it once more. So when you take a look at this document now, it won't scan. You see it says reflection detected, and you see the reflection just there above. Here is a reflection from a light condition. Of course, I'm using something radical, which is a plastic envelope to kind of really force the reflection, and I'm using a light condition here in order to force it so that you can see it. But as long as there's reflection, it doesn't make sense to scan this document, because when I do, and I'm going to do this now by forcing it, pushing the button. The problem is when you zoom this page here, you can't read where the reflection is. So it totally makes sense to reject that document, because your OCR will almost, sorry for the French, throw up on this image. And I'm going to discard that image. It doesn't make sense. So what we do is you go in there. It says reflection detected. I don't want to do it. What you do is you change your light. Hold still, and it scans it. And at this very moment, you can still read it. It's still, the reflection is there, but we worked on this filter a whole lot so that reflection is sometimes something you can't avoid, because the nature of the paper is like that, and we have neon light up here. You can't dodge it. It will be reflecting, but you can at least try to move it around as long as until the camera control says yes, we can read it, and you can read it. It's all in there, and even the OCR using the MRC black and white layer out of that will have a high contrast for this characters, and it can totally detect the language in here when you just move it around a little bit. So again, we make sure at the source that we create a document quality that is good for automatic processing and for getting a very good image quality, even under kind of difficult conditions. Okay, so this is probably it, showing you the app. Again, this was not a video. This was not something recorded or in a simulator. This was my real world iPhone that I use. You can see it here. You can watch a little bit. There's snow outside there. You see it's a live image, nothing recorded. And I think you could see that we have an app that helps you create very, very good quality scans by user control, by using document imaging, but not by forcing people to have to understand document imaging. That's it. And it's the app, it's the compression SDK, and it's the app framework SDK that you might want to take a look at. And if you want, just contact me by phone. There's my mobile number in there, or by email. My email address is also listed there. We start shipping the demo versions of both SDKs next week. So contact me on time, and you'll be the first to get it. And we start to ship the app itself the moment Apple ships the app. So anytime tonight, tomorrow, you will be able to search for LuraTech on the Apple App Store and find PDF Scanner, our app that you just saw. Webinar is coming to an end. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being there today, listening to me. Also, so many people being here today. Again, I appreciate that you followed us from all the way from December 5th to today to take a look at this webinar. I hope the wait was worth it. We are having a good feeling about the quality of everything we did now, and thus we are happy for you to take a look at what we did. And if there's any questions, just again type them into the questions field. You haven't done that. This morning I had at least 30 questions. At this very moment I have none. And if that still is the case and you have questions later on, send them by email. Other than that,